Okay. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Corleen Chavez. I'd like to welcome us to our team training. Tonight, we're going to talk about setting goals, and then we're going to look at some back office training so that we understand how to get the most out of our compensation plan. So, with that being said, I'd like to introduce my daughter, Shanae Chavez. Shanae is a leader um, in her profession, and she does huddles with her groups. And I've listened to her, and they're very informative. And so I've asked Shanae if she would work with us for the rest of the month so that as we go through, we're going to set our goals and then we're going to look at the launch of our new product. And Shanae is going to give us some suggestions and some ideas on what we can do so that we can go out there and have 100% success. So, one of the things that I'm going to hope everyone has in front of them would be your notepad and your pen so that you can take notes, ask questions. Oh God, I wanted to. Oh, I'll get it. Hold on. Shanae, talk until I get that. I gotta share something real quick.
All right. So, yeah, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself and why I think goals are so important. Okay. So, my background is mortgages. Having a background over 20 years, that's what I've done. I've helped people buy homes and to move into homes. One thing that's important about understanding helping people finance homes is that there is a definite deadline. It's called the close of escrow. You know what you cannot miss? The close of escrow. By missing the close of escrow, people can lose out on dream homes. They can also mess up their moving dates. So I've had to work under the confines of hard dates. Also, working in the mortgage space was understanding commission deadline. I want to close X amount of dollars so I can make X amount of number. I want to close X amount of dollars or units, and that's going to equate to X amount of dollars. So that requires a lot of tracking and coordination with multiple people. So I have run production for multiple teams. I have been a loan officer, a loan processor. We've had our own loan processing business. And now I help run huddles for my team in a whole different space. So for me, goal setting, planning, and tracking is a big component of my job. And I understand by doing those things what the results can be. I'm going to pass it back to my mom before we get started, okay?
Okay. So Shanae, this weekend I did that training, and one of the ways they say you should take notes is to, on your paper, draw a line straight down the middle. And one column, you're going to write what I learned. Okay. So you're going to write what you learned. And on the other column, you're going to write how I feel about what I just learned. So that's how I'm going to ask you to take notes tonight. What I learned in one column, how I feel about what I just learned in another column. All right, Ms. Shanae Travis, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to send out a couple more reminders because here's the other thing I'm going to say. As far as back office training and all of those things work, we're not going to keep doing like individual calls. So it's going to be really important that people that are serious about their business show up to get these trainings. Now, this will be recorded so everyone can go back and review it. All right, Shanae, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. So now let's talk about what that means. Now, I started off, remember how all this started? This started with National Quitters Day. And as I was researching and learning about National Quitters Day, I realized that I'm part of the 94% of people that never achieve their goals. And that this year I was promoting myself to the 6% that sets a goal at the beginning of the year and actually meets them by the end of the year. And so, how do I do that? I go back to my foundation, what I do at work, that I'm very successful at doing at work, but struggle with doing in my home life. But this basic foundation could be applied to everything. And so, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by sharing a presentation and we're going to go from there. So, hold on. I'm going to share some sound. All right. Hold on. Go away from the beginning. All right. And so now we're just down to goal setting, right? This is how we re-engage with our business. You wrote the goals. Now what? Writing the goals was one step. How many of you, and this is a yes, come off mic and give us a response if you like, how many people have written goals at the beginning of the year, but never look at them again? I'm gonna raise my hand because I have. I have on some years where I'll go back and I'll find the paper in June and be like, huh, I never did anything with this. So now we've written the goals.
Well,
What do you do with them?
I've
The
written the
real
goal and I put it on the refrigerator on my bathroom mirror, bedroom mirror, and everything. But because I was not intentional about reading them every day, after a while, it just became a part of that structure. And so writing them and putting them where you can see them is important steps, but I believe to be very intentional about reading them every day is what makes the difference.
So, and that's one component of it. And thank you, Dr. Picola, for sharing. The real work begins after you write the goal. And yes, you've taken one of the steps by placing it places to where it remains top of mind. But in order for goals to be achieved, they must be SMART goals. One, they must be specific. Two, they must be measurable. Three, they must be achievable. Four, they must be relevant. And five, they must be time-based. And if you notice, that spells out SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. What do you need to achieve these goals? Many people make it in their mind like, well, I can't even start because I don't have, our company doesn't have this, or I don't have that. And really, there are only a few things you need to achieve your goals. First thing is you need you, right? Nobody else can achieve your goals for you. You. Second, we're talking about low tech, big check. There are people out there for any goal, whether we're talking about financial or weight loss. There are people who lose hundreds of pounds of weight and never go to the gym. They don't have fancy gym clothes. They don't have the $100 tennis shoes. They don't have a vibration plate or a Peloton or whatever top machine that's available. What they have are these items. They have a pen and a piece of paper or a journal. They have a monthly calendar. They have a to-do list, a weekly task list, and for Engage, you have access to your back office and a basic calculator. It doesn't matter what the task is. If you have these basic components yourself, a pen, a journal, a to-do list, a calendar, and a calculator, you can achieve those goals. So my example is going to be weight loss. This is example one. Now, we're going to use an example, but just so you know, you can do this with any goal, okay? So the example goal, the specific goal, I want to lose 25 pounds in a year. Desired is 50. Realistic and healthy is 25 pounds. That's a half a pound loss per week. Would anybody agree or disagree that this is an attainable goal? It's very specific, and I know exactly what I'm looking to achieve. Any comments, any questions? Awesome.
Yeah,
Now we're going to measure the
hey,
goal.
I do.
Mhm.
I think I understand what you're saying, but it's not exciting to me to lose a half a pound a month. But I know
I
it's
understand that.
healthy.
Half pound a week.
So,
Yeah.
so this
Half,
is what I'm going to tell you. If you follow a SMART goal, you're going to achieve this way sooner than a year.
okay. All right.
Now, if you don't follow the goal, it's going to take you about a year if you're not serious about it, if you're not on time about it. But on any SMART goal, if you follow the steps, you're supercharging it, you're going to achieve it faster. because now it's about growth. It's about the mindset. It's about getting in that headspace. And as you and I all know as women, hey, I can lose 10 pounds this month and lose like a quarter of a pound for the next 8 months.
Well, hopefully with our new product, as we our hormones, we won't have that story.
Absolutely. I mean, but plateaus happen, right? In the ideal world, we think every month I want to have 10% growth or 10% gain or 5% growth or 5% gain. That's just not really how the real world works. What this does is it sets up the specific goal. And even though we know it could be 25 pounds of fat, you'll still see changes if the scale moves small. Your skin will look better. Your hair will look better. You're sleeping better. So you're still achieving goals throughout this process. My real desire and my real hit is 50 pounds. Okay. Now it has to be measurable. And this is how we create our metric. And so I'm talking about weight loss. If you're in business, for your engaged business, you will start with your current rank. And your specific would be what you hope to achieve. So with weight loss, I would record my starting weight, excuse me, and that's your current rank, right? I would take my measurements. I would have my starting photos. I now take that goal at 25 pounds and I divide it by 52 weeks because there's 52 weeks in a year. That's about 0.48 pounds of weight loss per week. That's 0.0686 per day. And again, because I'm trying to break this goal down into how I'm gonna obtain it. What most people say, like, if you're what's the first rank, mommy?
HA1, health,
HA1.
yes.
I want to be an ambassador, but there's a lot of steps in between there. So now we
Yes.
take our major goal and we break it down into micro goals. My micro goal is my weekly goal and my daily goal. Does that make sense? Anybody having a light bulb moment?
Mhm.
I mean, it makes sense for sure because you can't go. You're not going to go from an HA1 to an ambassador. There's a lot
That's
of
about detailed steps. Yeah.
right, there's a lot of steps between there. So yes,
And so now it's not just a dream. Now this is how I'm going to do this. And now you're outlining the steps to make it happen. And now it has to be achievable. And how will you achieve it? Well, most people make the mistake with weight loss and put exercise before diet. But diet is 85% of the goal. So if I start with diet, I make it so it's more likely I will hit the goal. And how I'm going to do that? I'm going to create grocery lists. I'm going to meal prep. I'm going to pre-cut fruits and veggies. I'm going to do juice shots. And this is just an example of some of the things I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure my kitchen looks like I'm trying to lose weight. So if you open the refrigerator right now, mommy, what do we have in the refrigerator?
veggies and fruit.
We have the fruit is already pre-cut in containers.
Yeah.
For my sweet treat, I've taken and I found some hacks that make you feel like you're having some cheesecake, but it's really yogurt. Put a little cheesecake in some yogurt, and I have some fresh fruit to put on top of that. I even made my granola. We have juice shots. I made a green detox soup. So if you look at the house, is it going in line with what I say I want to achieve? You can't say you want to lose weight and your house looks like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. And then second is exercise because you have to move your body. But then it's about being realistic with the exercise, right? I'm not a person that's exercising 7 and 5 times a week. So let's start off slow. Apple Fitness workout, 20 minutes, 3 times a week. Let's take the dog for a walk in the neighborhood Monday through Friday. Now, unfortunately, I haven't done that yet because our air quality is poor and you should not be outside in our air right now. Next is going to be the step goal. And again, I'm not a person because I work from home. I used to move around a lot more. I'm not. So my first week goal is just 5,000 steps per day. And then it's to add $1,000, 1,000 steps each week until I hit 10,000, and then to obtain and maintain $10,000, 10,000 steps, excuse me. You see how I broke that down so it didn't feel impossible in the beginning. All right.
And you know what? Sinead, say this
Mhm.
part. There are so many different apps you can use to help you with getting your steps in, to help you, if you like challenges, because Sinead will tell you, I have an app and my goal is 10,000 steps a day. And sometimes if I'm not there, and I have another hour or so to go, I'm walking around the house, I'm doing whatever I need to do to get them in. So sometimes we need, I guess the app is one of my accountability tools that I use. So there's so many different tools out there that you can use.
Absolutely. But you have to meet yourself where you are, right? For some people, they might look at a goal of 5,000 steps like that's ridiculous. I already do 20,000 steps. That's great for you, boo boo. That's not where I am. So it's just about meeting yourself and being realistic about where you are in your process too. All
Yes.
right. So far we talked about making it specific, measurable, and achievable. And again, this is all, how will you achieve it? We're going to continue. Tracking, tracking, tracking. Tracking looks like this. Big picture goal, 25-pound weight loss or 50 desired. Monthly goal, to obtain this, it needs to be modified, right? So if I set it at 25 pounds and in 3 months I've already lost 25 pounds, do I stop and say, oh, well, it's done? Or do I remodify it and say, okay, that's achieved. Now let's create the next goal. Or if at 3 months I've only lost half a pound, it's time for me to stop and reassess. Actually, after 1 month, it's time to stop and reassess. Why is this not working? So if you've written a goal and you've done the tracking, now you can go back and modify your behavior. My example of this is at work. I have I have a daily sale goal of 3 apps per day. I did 4 apps on Monday. I did 4 apps on Tuesday. I did 2 apps today. But I'll write the reason, not an excuse, but what was going on with me today to where I was off the mark? Did I not get enough calls? Was I not focused? Did I not take my time? This is where you hone in on your process to become better at whatever goal you're trying to achieve. And then I'm good at creating to-do lists. I think to-do lists are important. For me, I start with a weekly to-do list and then I make daily tasks. And for weight loss, you need daily tasks, food journals, you need a water journal, supplement log, and a photo journal. The reason for the photos, and even in your business, snapshots of your business are going to help you because it lets you know where you are today. So when you become discouraged or you feel like it's not working, you have something you can harpen back to say, wait a minute, look where I've come from. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And if I've only
Yes.
lost half
Yes.
a pound and I pull up that food log, but I had McDonald's 5 days, and which I haven't had McDonald's in 4 years, just an example. But if I had McDonald's 3 days, or I had, cookies or ice cream, or I'm not focused on my goal, and so I'm not winning because I'm not putting the time towards how to win. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yes.
And so it's easy to say I'm doing all the right things when you're not tracking all the right things.
Not tracking.
So tracking
Nope.
all the things that you do that'll help you achieve your goals. Maybe that'll kind of help reinforce you continue doing that and again
Correct.
getting to the next level.
Yes.
I think
That's how it's
sometimes,
achievable.
yeah,
What were you saying, Miss Omi? I'm sorry. You said you think
I think
sometimes.
sometimes we say we do something, but we really lie. We don't really do that. And then when it doesn't work out, we like unconsciously or subconsciously find excuses not to actually change. And this is what it happens to me. And I find something else to do in that space, making excuses, and then go back and try to do a last minute reef whatever. But I'm understanding this is the process is really more important than just the results because it's a change in mindset. And for me, it's a problem with me. It has been a problem with lack of focus. That's what has been my problem for not a change. But when you hear this voice that says, you will do this, it's like you don't have to be told anymore. You know that voice was talking to you about your project and what you committed to the person that's on the inside of you. Then you start thinking differently because it's not just about you not talking to the conscious level, but this other person and you say, I heard that. You didn't really mean it. Well, maybe next time you should say, this is the mental thing that I'm going through at different times. And when I really come to myself, I said I was going to do this. Then this other voice said, but you never really tried. You never attempted. Then you never apologized to me. This is what happened to me. And when he comes back again and said, you said you were going to do this, it's like, we will get this done. We will work on a part of it, a piece of it, but we will say and do what we said we were going to do. So I like the to-do list that I seem to want to lose, but in the last 2 days, it has really changed my life where I've been putting certain information in a certain folder and don't mix them up. And it's really helped. And I want to say, I really thank you for this because this is good for me. This is what I need. Thank you.
You're welcome. The to-do list is going to do a couple things. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know the expression, men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Yes, I've heard that.
Your numbers will not lie.
Yeah.
You can create any excuse you can, but at the end of the day, businesses run off metrics. And if you're growing a business or trying to meet a goal, you have to understand what your metrics are and how you're going to achieve it. The second thing is once you start writing to-do lists, you're gonna figure out a couple things. Either you're over ambitious, you need to be realistic about the time you have to commit to the goal. Actually, three things. You haven't committed enough time to achieve the goal. Well, it's actually four things. You have poor time management, or four, you just flat out procrastinate. And so what I have to start learning how to do with my goals is miss the things I don't want to do with the things I want to do.
Shanae, before you
Mhm.
go further, can I just add one thing? So
Mhm.
one of the things that I learned on Friday was like there's four kind of people. So there's people that have no time. There's people that have some time. There's people that are part-time, and there's people that are full-time. And so sometimes we complain about what's not happening when we have invested no time or maybe just a little time. So I just wanted to put that in as well.
Awesome. I think that's really powerful and really true. Now we start holding ourselves accountable. I find that sometimes I'm good at holding other people accountable, but not myself.
Yeah. And when you're true to yourself and you determine, like, I can't tell anyone else what amount of time they're going to put into their business or into their weight loss program. Only you can determine that. And so that's really important.
Could you say that one more time about the time? You have no time?
So people, you have to identify. So like if I say, Dr. Picola, I have this business and I want to talk to you about it, blah, blah, blah. What I should do when I'm interviewing you, I should ask you, how much time do you have? So there's four labels: no time,
Mm-hmm.
sometime,
Part-time.
part-time, or full-time. And so sometimes when people aren't having results, if you go back and you say, especially if you're tracking, and Shanae, I think this is where tracking becomes really important. If Dr. Picola says to me, well, I didn't reach my goal because the company didn't do this and the company didn't do that. And then I say, well, Dr. Picola, let's go look back at your to-do list. Let's track how much time you spent. And then maybe you're like, oh, I planned to do, but I didn't get on that call. Oh, I planned to call this person, but I didn't call that person. So you have to decide how many hours a day you want to allot to your business.
Mhm.
You guys
Right.
that?
Then you break it down from there.
Correct.
Right.
You can even
The
put,
same formula you're going to follow for any goal. I just use weight loss as an example. What I want to do and what I hope we'll do after this, now that we've used weight loss, in a couple days we'll come back, you'll have your own goals and we'll talk about how you broke yours down. That's why this morning I said, in the WhatsApp group, 2 goals, one personal, one business. I mean, we don't have to have 50 million goals. We can start small.
Yeah.
Right. So we're specific, measurable, achievable. Now they have to be relevant. You have to be able to say, by achieving this goal, I will. I will improve my overall health. I will lower my blood pressure and reduce my BMI. I will look better than in clothing. I will feel better about myself. I will sleep better. I will reduce my stress and have more energy. And all this is a part of self-love and self-care. I will give myself time for myself. And so this is your why. How are you achieving these goals relevant to you? And everybody's will be different.
Mhm.
Now, the other thing about goals is people will say, I have a goal to become, to lose 25 pounds. But your goals are not time-based. And if your goals are not time-based, they are a dream, they are not a goal. There has to be an end date to your goal. The end date does a couple things. It gives you the opportunity to stop, readdress, and redirect if you need to. So my master end date is by the end of the year, December 31st of 2025. But within that master goal, I have 12 smaller goals. So that's each month to lose 2.0833 pounds. And so now on the macro level, I set my January goals. Based on what I achieve in January, I go to my February goals. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if it's, I would like to be an ambassador in 12 months. Now we're going to break down the program based on 12 months. If you follow this, if you're tracking, if you're monitoring, and if you're doing the steps you've outlined, and they're the right steps, you're going to achieve it faster. Now, you must write your goals down. For all the people that say, I don't have to write it down, it's in my head, you'll never win. Because how do you hold yourself to account or monitor progress of something that's not written down?
Mhm.
I can look back, any job I've had, I can pull up charts and tell you what it is I've done. I was the first person at one company to do, oh God, what was it, 86 million in production on loans, on very small loans in a month. Like I've controlled massive volume and achieved greatness when it comes to moving volume and numbers. So I know what to do in that regards. What I'm not necessarily good at is taking those same practices and putting them into my personal life. So when I tell you, you must write them down, I am encouraging myself to do the same thing as it pertains to my personal life. You must review them weekly. You must review them daily. You must review them hourly. In other words, they must stay top of mind. Because as soon as they are no longer top of mind, or you put them in a corner, or you put them in a desk, or they're just posted a place and you're not actively working on it, it is now a dream, not a goal.
And you know what, Shanae, I think the important part of what you just said is that life happens. So life happens to all of us. But if you're not reviewing your goals, then you can lose track.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
One of the things I was showing my mom was, for those of you guys don't know, I also do Medicare sales. I'm a benefit advisor. And I was showing her my numbers for November. And I did better than I did last year by double digits. I work less. I had every reason to fail and not achieve company standards. And I met them. I exceeded them. And why could I say I had every reason not to meet them? I missed about 7 or 8 days of work because of the fire, because we didn't have electricity, because we didn't have water, just because of a host of things that were beyond my control. I came back midway through the month, and everybody on my team was far ahead of me. I never, and I still met the company standard for the month. I exceeded it. I showed up with intention. I knew what my month to day number was, and I knew what I needed to achieve every single day to hit goal.
Mhm.
And
So
Shanae, I
again,
think what's important about that is that you didn't be, and I'm saying this because this is what we tend to do. You didn't wait till the last week to say, oh my goodness, I got to get all of this in before the end of the month. You were consistently working to hit your numbers. And I think that
absolutely,
part is really important.
absolutely. I was showing up and my supervisor would be like, "You doing it?" And I'd be like, "I know. My head was down. I was focused. I don't have time to play. This is what I said I was going to achieve, and I will meet the company standard. I will not use as an excuse. I was out because of X, Y, and Z, which guess what? The company would have forgiven. We have to fight for ourselves the same way we fight for other people's businesses.
Yeah. They say you can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't do both.
Not make both.
Can't do both. You have to make a decision. And I think that's what we're here for. Hopefully, all of us that are here are ready to make the decision to be successful in Engage Global because we have an opportunity because nobody knows about our company. Nobody. I mean, if you ask how many people have approached you to look at Engage Global? If anybody has approached you to look at Engage Global, can you raise your hand? Open your mic, say something. That's what I thought.
Mhm.
You approached me.
Okay. I mean, right. I'm talking.
Nobody else has talked to me since you talked to me about doing this business. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's
Well,
a
that's the problem with our company. It's the
no,
best kept secret.
no,
Secret on the internet.
no,
And
no.
it's
But,
on Beyonce's internet. It shouldn't be a secret.
but
Right.
wait, because what I learned over the weekend is you can blame the company. You can say the company doesn't have the right tools. We don't have the right technology. But
It's you.
if you look at
Mhm.
the equation, who's in the middle of that is you.
It's
It's
me,
you.
right? Yes, it's
Yeah.
us.
For us to
It's us. It's not the company.
yeah, it's real easy for us to say, well, the company doesn't do this, and they
No, no. The company's doing something. We're not doing what
it's
we should do.
us. We just need to, yeah, we just have to pull it together because we're doing
Right.
some stuff. We just have to pull it together so we're more excellent at executing.
Yeah. And so,
Right.
and this is how
Well,
we do it.
for,
This is how
for
you do
me,
it.
oh, Shanae, for me, it's like it is so amazing that we are actually on the ground floor. So we should be super excited, especially with this new product company coming with the new product. We're on the ground floor of a great opportunity.
Yeah. The other thing is, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a
One
time.
bite at a time.
One
Yes.
bite at a time. So now we're taking what we know and we're going to throw it into our business. And this is how you're going to win.
Mhm.
And guess what? Each one of your businesses have that every other business doesn't have.
Me.
It has you.
Oh,
It has
Me.
you. It has your voice. It has your ability. Now, there's
It
things you have
has,
to do with being you, but you guys all run in different circles. You have different access points. I mean, that's unique. No other business has you. Now, the other thing I'm going to say is you must reward and acknowledge your small victories. So the one thing I'm going to tell you I'm good at is I clap for myself. I learned how to do that a long time ago. I'm not waiting for a company to say, oh my God, look what Shanae did. Nope. I showed up, I did what I needed to do in November, and I clapped for myself the whole time I did it.
Mhm.
I wasn't
how did
waiting
you
for my
clap for
supervisor
yourself?
to.
How did you rejoice over your win?
I watched my numbers. I watched where I came from. I came back in at the midpoint of the month where everybody already had 50 and 60 enrollments, and I had 10. I ended the month with 89. I clapped
Congratulations.
for myself every day I showed up and did what I need to do. I knew my numbers every single day. I tracked, I put a tally mark every single time I did it. So I knew every single morning I was pulling up our reporting, looking at what went to approved, what was still pending. I knew what I was working towards. You have to know what you're working towards. The other thing is just being able to be like, I did it. If you have a personal goal, even if it's not the company's goal, or even if that doesn't make you the top dog at that time, you have to be proud of you for doing what you needed to do. And
yeah.
how you reward yourself is how you determine it. Maybe it's, I deserve a facial. Maybe it's, I deserve a new pair of tennis shoes, just something. But it doesn't have to be necessarily something that spends money. It's just knowing that you have done what you needed to do. Clap for yourself.
I like that. I really like that. You guys like that statement? Clap for yourself?
Yes.
Clap for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
I,
so,
Shanae, when you say clap for yourself, then the other thing that happens is you don't have to compete with other people, right?
no,
You don't have to compete with other people. You just have
I'm
to
in a yep.
recognize what you're doing.
I am only in competition with myself. The other thing about clapping for yourself is I celebrate the people around me.
Yeah.
So when I run huddles, I acknowledge everything everyone on the team has done. If you enrolled one person, thank you for showing up and enrolling that person. If you didn't get on the board that day, it's okay. So what are we going to do different today? And I hype up. For us, it's tier up. If you tier up, you make more money. For you guys, it's a rank up. So it's
Right.
understanding what it is you're looking to achieve. So I cheer on everyone. There's a guy on my team. He's amazing, and so I call it Shay watching, because he kicks butt. Not only does he kick butt, we start off at the same point, and by 5 days in, you feel like he dragging you down the street. You feel like the little kid that the parents say they got to take, so they drag you along. I feel like Raggedy Ann and Andy, but I clap for him the whole time. Like, you are amazing, and we have to learn how to celebrate and clap for each other.
And
And it's
I,
not because I want anything from him. I just want to let him know I see you and you are shining. You're amazing.
yeah. And Shanae, I think we really need to do that as women. And
Yes.
Mike is still on. Mike is on, and we may have some other gentlemen on. But sometimes as women, we don't celebrate one another.
Right.
We need to work on that.
Yeah. And then to me, this is really one of the most important parts. You need an accountability partner.
Amen,
But
amen,
let me
amen.
explain the accountability partner piece. It cannot be the
Mhm,
person you gossip with. It cannot
mhm,
be the person that you complain about what's going on with. It
mhm.
has to be the person that will hold your feet to the fire and say, okay, you didn't do it. Why? And that you're not going to get upset with when they hold your feet to the fire.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
But it can't be the person you gossip with or complain with. It cannot be that person because y'all won't hold each other accountable.
And
And
Shanae,
so,
that's when you go back to, the accountability portion is when you're sitting down and you're looking at your goals. So if you're a person that's just getting started, a realistic, an unrealistic goal to me is I'm going to sign up 10 people this month. But if you're just getting started and you're learning the system and all that, and you say, you know what, my goal is to get 2 to 3 customers, or to expose so many people. How many people can I invite to Zoom calls? How many Zoom calls am I going to be on where I'm really sitting down and paying attention? I'm not just on there, but I'm multitasking and doing so many other things. And I know so many of us, sometimes we have to multitask because we have other things to do. But when you can just sit down and, learn, or, and I don't even think the person that's hosting the call, you're hosting the call, but that doesn't mean that you're the only person that can put out valuable or share valuable information. And I think that's why when you look at us coming together and opening up and really having that conversation, that it makes a big difference.
yeah. And one of your biggest accountability partners has to be you. You have to be willing to hold yourself to account. Um, the one thing I will do if I'm struggling or I'm not hitting my sales goals, many times I'm at my manager before they are. And if I feel like she's not a resource that's helpful, I'm going to another manager. I'm looking for that help and that support that's going to push me to the next level because I am my biggest critic. I am my hardest competitor because I want to do better than I did. I have to do better than I did. If not, you're not growing, you're standing still, you're dying. So the other thing is, what are you pouring into yourself? So one of the things one of my goals this year is to read one book a month. If not to read one book enough, do one Audible a month. Because if you don't have time, guess what? I'm in a car a lot. I can play something, I can listen something. I will listen to something, go back, and then take out my notes and take notes about what I heard or the value I felt in it. The first book I'm reading is oh God, the first one. I'll tell you what it is. It's You Can't Learn How to Ride a Tricycle at a Seminar. Um, just finding those books, however they're important to you, that are going to pertain to your personal growth. And so by doing those steps, you will win. And I want to end with Deion Sanders. And if you haven't seen this video, it's really awesome. And I'm really excited to share it with you guys. Hold on for 1 second. It's not going to let me play it in here. It's going to make me go to a different source, but hold on. I'm going to stop this. And then I'm going to get that playing for us.
Are you guys getting anything out of this?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is good.
Okay, hold on, you guys. I'm gonna get that screen set up. And while I'm getting that set up, share with me what worked for you or what aha moments, if any, you've had.
Let me see.
I didn't have an aha moment. I had aha time listening and taking notes. I'm a little behind the A ball. Uh, procrastination seemed to have been my friend for a minute, but this helped clarify a lot. I like the smart because I see it a lot in our schools, but at the same time, that bottom accountability and actually putting in the work. We expect other people to do what we can do, and when they don't do it, we get a little upset. But the real key is for me, my takeaway is that I need to be accountable, responsible. I'm going from the bottom up and end up making certain that I'm setting goals at night. I found out if I set goals at night, I actually sleep better. And there's some research to support that. I don't do that. And I procrastinate. And I said, well, I knew it, do it the first thing in the morning. But usually I don't do it the first thing in the morning. I do it like about 10 o'clock. And then I've lost about 5 hours from the time that I've been up. But I think the SMART model for me is something that is what I need to do because I don't do it. This is what Omi needs to do. I have 3 or 4 areas in my life. When I apply just this one principle and these steps to one area of my life, I believe my entire life will be a more professional, excellent representative of God. Because to me, it's all about, do you really represent? I think you're helping me to be a more honorable person to represent the name of Jesus. This is what my little thing is about. What am I really doing to represent my daddy? And even my biological mom and dad that have done some things. So this was not a wake-up call. This was a necessary call for Omi to be more efficient.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing. Now I want to play this video and then we'll talk about it on the end, okay? Again, this is one of I play this in huddles and people come back and they light fire that day.
When does talent stop until work ethic takes over to get to the next level of domination?
Well, I like work ethic and I like talent, but I also love character. Character is going to keep you where you want to go longer than you really need to stay. Work ethic is unbelievable. Talent is as well. But sooner or later, it's something that's inside of you just has to want it. You have to need it. You got to go at it like it's that next breath that you got to take, that nobody can stop you. And the closer you get to it, you're going to have naysayers, you're going to have doubters, you're going to have people that's close to you, that even in the crib with your laying beside of you that don't believe in you. I know I stepped on somebody's toes right there, but it's okay. That's what I came here to do. But it's up to you to wipe the tears out your eyes and go get it. Because my motto when I was 7 years old is I believe. I got to Jackson State and I started saying I believe, and they thought it was something new. I've been believing for a long time and I'm not going to ever stop. Now it's about time for you to look at that person next to you and say, I believe. I believe. I mean, you got to feel it. You got to embed it. You got to embody it. Don't just say it with your neck all slanted. You got to put your neck upright and say, I believe. I mean, I believe. That's right. Without a shadow of a doubt, you got to believe. You got to want it. Because everything you want is going to be something in front of it that's going to keep you away from it. So you're going to have to fight. You're going to have to roll your sleeves up. You're going to have to put Vaseline on your face, ladies. Take your earrings off. Take your lace front off, baby. You're going to have to go get it. You're going to have to go get it.
Chris, you got that video up, the top plays? You guys, there's a generation here that has never seen your plays. They've just seen your house, but there's a generation that hasn't seen your plays. Chris, we got that up. Let's take a look at some of the top plays, because we're talking about talent, about what he did on the field. We pulled up this YouTube video, your top 50 plays. We won't go through the whole thing, but let's take a look at some of your top plays here.
On top 6-3, Montana going up top for Rice, intercepted by Sanders. Aikman back to throw. Dion inside the 10.
Beat the Packers.
First down. Zolak takes the pitch back and throws it downfield, and Dion's got another one.
Can we stop it?
All right, here we go.
Can we stop it? I want to stop it. I don't want you to clap because I'm going to say something that you're not going to believe. Those aren't my top plays. Let me tell you why. Because, see, my top plays happen at practice when no one was looking. My top plays happen in Fort Myers, Florida, when none of you knew anything about me. My top plays happened when there was no camera there. See, those are the plays you just caught on camera. Those weren't my top plays because I practiced like I played, so when I played, it would be practice. Yeah, you were supposed to clap right there because that was straight.
Amen to that. Come on, get up to practice place.
So there's somebody out there right now, the light ain't on you, but keep making plays. Nobody's talking about you, but keep making plays.
Right.
I know your sales numbers aren't where your friend is, but keep making plays. I know nobody's talking about you, and you're not on the leaderboard right now, but baby, keep making plays.
That's good.
Making plays. Keep making plays. You're not on the board right now. They're not thinking about you. They're thinking you can't do it. Keep making plays.
That's powerful.
Now we play big, right? Now is the time we play big. We put on our big girl panties and our big boy draws, and we come out there and we play to win. We play, we every single step. This is where clapping for yourself matters, right?
Yeah.
When you learn how to clap for yourself, as you can see, he didn't even want the accolades. That's not me being my best. I'm my best every day. That's keep making plays.
That's good.
And I hope if you didn't get anything from this, I hope you'll get the power that you have to go out there and really manifest and grow your businesses. Thank you guys for allowing me to share. I do appreciate it. I do believe that all of you guys have it in the power to be ambassadors and beyond, and to use the tools that we just discussed, not only for your engaged business, but your personal life. And if you do it consistently, there's no way you will not change. I challenge everybody on this call to do what we just talked about for the next year. Let's just start a week. Let's start with just 1 week. And at the end of the next week, if you tell me it didn't work or you didn't change, go back to what you were doing before. But I guarantee you, if you pour into yourself, you will win.
Right. Let's see what kind of comments we have out there. Rita says, Okay.
You can't, I find myself doing half of the work. You know, I'll have the goals, but I don't split it up, whatever that word is that you say. You split it up, what you're going to do today, what you're going to do the next day. But at one time I was on it when I was in a group, and we put everything on the calendar. We blocked our time out, and that worked really good for me, because I knew once I reviewed my information for the next day at night, I knew what I was supposed to do. So I look at the calendar and I'm blocking my time out. Even lunch, you blocking your time out. If you have a Zoom meeting, that's on the calendar. So I've gotten away from that. And I need to get back to that, writing it down.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you need is a reminder, right?
That's what I was going to say. Would you say that's part of the writing it down part?
Absolutely.
How to write it down.
Write it down.
You know,
have you ever, and I've done this, have you ever gone to the market and say, oh, I came in here for
one thing.
It's the only thing I need. I get home and it's the only thing I don't have.
Right.
Right.
Write it down.
Have you ever had to, I'm gonna raise my hand high for this. Have you ever had a bill where it had a due date and you had to pay it on that date? And you said, oh, I'm gonna take care of that. And 4 days later, you didn't pay it because you totally forgot to pay it. Now they calling you and it's a late fee, and you upset you paying a late fee and telling them you shouldn't pay it, even though it was on you because you knew you were supposed to pay it.
Right.
I'm gonna raise 2 hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I even had that down on the calendar. If you're going to be paying, if I was going to go pay bills that day, it says pay bills. And I had a list to say what bills I was going to pay. So that was part of my business and my personals all in one calendar. So I'm blocking out my time, which I thought was excellent. But now I'm just scattered all over the place.
There's one word: intentional.
You have to be intentional on what you're doing.
Intentional. With yourself, with your time, with the people you deal with. Be intentional.
I think Kamalia, is her hand up? Kamalia, is your hand up?
No, I'm just agreeing with what you say. Just agreeing with what I mean, and that's the sad part with me, is that I agree with you guys, and if you don't pour into yourself, if you don't do what you have to do, if for not for anybody but yourself, then you go nowhere. I'm the one who says, yeah, I'm gonna pay that bill today. I'm gonna take care of ABC today. And then next minute I'm like I got ADHD or something, I'm in another
Mhm.
world. And then I realize the day is gone and oh shoot, I didn't do that. Oh, I didn't mail that or whatever the case may be. And
Mhm.
and that's it, talking, as I say, talk is cheap, you know, and it is. It is. It really is. Action is what speaks louder than words, you know.
Mhm.
And
That's right.
it,
Oh, you
it,
finished? Mhm.
guys, it's what you do, not what you say,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
It's actually, if you say, oh, well, you know what, I'm going to help that lady next door and mow her lawn or whatever. That's good intentions. But if you didn't get up and do it, then you didn't accomplish anything. I have my sister, and I just think about it. It warms my heart, though. My front yard needed to be raked and cleaned up. The next day, my sister showed up with a blower and a, and a bag and did my yard for me. She said she would do it and did it.
Mhm.
And that's the kind of energy everybody needs to have. When you say you're going to do something, do it. No matter what it is. Every now and then, I was like, okay, this morning when I get up, I'm going to go through that closet and take care of that stuff right now. And then I just jump up. I just jump up and do it. But if I don't jump up and do it, I know me. It'll another 10 minutes. Oh, another 5. And it doesn't do anything. And I'm being transparent right now. And you know, I'm convincing myself I need to change. I need to make those moves. I have people. We had a call. I think it was the beginning of this week or last week. No, it was last week because I remember my brother spoke to me, and he had like 3 people who said they want.
You're
Uh-oh.
muted.
Yeah,
You hit
you're
the
You're
still.
mute
muted.
button.
Yep. Unmute yourself.
The Dion video. I'm gonna add that to the chat. Someone asked if I do that. Hold
So
on.
while waiting for her to come back, one of the things that we discussed this weekend, you guys, and I think that's what Kamalia was doing, is we have to be vulnerable. And people you don't have to be perfect. Right? And that, I think that holds so many of us back because we just,
We want to be perfect.
but we have to be vulnerable so that people know our intentions. They feel our heart. They know what we want. I heard, what did they say, that we have to be attractive. But he said, when we're talking about being attractive, we're not talking about how you look. We're talking about you have to be attractive to people. People have to feel your heart. People have to know that you're genuine. People have to know that you truly care about them. That is just not, if I do this, I can make this much money. People have to know that you really care. We all have to work on being attractive so that we're not just doing the hard sell. I need to sell so I can hit this rank. I want to help you so you have better health. And
And
as
people,
me helping you have better health, it helps me so that I can hit whatever rank I choose. And I can do it with one person, or I can do it with 10, or I can do it with 20. That's up to me. We all need to sit down and create a business plan that tells yourself exactly what you want to do.
I'm gonna say this. When you just work from the standpoint of I just need a sale, people hear it.
Mhm.
Because I'm gonna tell you, when I show up last year, this is what I did different. I was showing up just like the sales are just gonna come. This year, my whole mindset is different. I've listened to what you said was important to you. Here's my concern as I'm looking at your particular situation. Here's where I think your plan is not meeting your needs. How about we do X, Y, and Z? People want to know you care. I have told people, matter of fact, I told this lady yesterday, I was like, I'm not supposed to tell you this. The plan you just signed up for is garbage. You should go back to your old plan. And ultimately, we ended up enrolling her in a plan after we did the math and we talked about like, look, but this is a challenge on this plan. This is what I don't like. This is why I think you should do it this way. But again, I wasn't trying to sell her. I was really listening to what her financial concerns were. If we're doing this based on financial concern, this is what you should be doing. People don't want to be sold.
No, they
No.
don't
No.
want to know that you care.
Correct.
So
I apologize for that. My Wi-Fi went out and took me off the Zoom. But anyway, you got the point of what I was trying to say, I'm sure.
yeah, we said you have to be vulnerable, and that's what you were saying, and being transparent. It's not, it can't, I mean, for a company, the numbers are the numbers, but for you to build that book of trust, it has to be you taking time to listen to people and then letting them know that you have something that can help them. And so, look, Shanae, this training has been great. Do we have any more comments? Any more comments?
Now, somebody stated this is like corporate America. This is
Yeah.
how business operate. You are your own business, so you have to treat it as such. You're gonna grow when you treat your business like a business.
Miss Roberta Rice, you can't talk. I'm sorry.
But I'm not going to be long-winded and I'm not going to talk loud, but I have to give her her accolade. Have to. I'm the one that said this is how we operate in corporate America. I even have people, I'm 70 years old as of November 29th of last year. And people always compliment me. They think I'm so great in my sales, in my marketing. But this is the exact training that I had in corporate America, which contributes to my success today. Sister girlfriend, I just want to give you your accolades. You did the do with the darn thing. And so it's good for this training to come back up because I'm just now jumping back in the game. I'm going hard. I'm going to use this method and the training and everything that you've said here today. You remind me so much of your mom. I see where you get it from. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And please send me your Cash App because you deserve it. Because in college, we paid hundreds of dollars for this teaching. Take a business class, hundreds of dollars. I mean, and this is free coming from a professional from the top. Oh,
And
you
one
deserve
of us.
it. You
And one of
deserve
us.
it.
I told you to send your cash out.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you.
I don't even know what my Cash App is.
Well, find out and send it.
You can send it to me.
That's okay. We'll send it to Corleen and
I'll put
and
my
get it to you.
and send it.
Thank you again.
24/7 increase.
24/7 increase. You guys, that's a heck of a. I love
That's exactly what I was saying, Roberta, as I was looking at her. Smart was taught to me in the Army, and we paid good for those trainers to come in to teach and train us. And as I was sitting there, I was saying, how can we compensate her? What are we doing? What are we going to do? So we took it and ran with it. Let's do it.
My Zelle is just my phone number.
Okay, but he doesn't know your phone number.
Oh, I'll put it in that. Sorry.
So we were going to do back office training tonight, but I think this is enough for tonight. What do you guys think?
It is. I think so too.
I got to go. My children still waiting for me to go over their. They are auditioning for another play yet another. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
But I have to go and go over stuff with them. And we do need to do back office, but I can't do it tonight.
So we'll probably, and what we want to do is to do something every night for just so that we can all get back in the game because we got to get back. But I think tomorrow night is recognition for the company. So we won't schedule anything tomorrow night. So
Okay.
we'll do
And
something.
maybe Friday, something
Friday.
quick. Just now we've talked about goals. Now let's put it into practice.
Let's see where
Bring
we
your
are with.
goal.
Or let's
So-
see, right? Let's see who is like implementation. So we'll get this call posted. We've already posted the one that we did. We didn't post last night's because we did this one again. So we'll post this call, and then let's see, because what it's going to show is, you know how they say the cream rises. It's going to show you who's serious about this, or and let me say this: all of us have different goals. So you may not want to do everything, and you don't have to. That's the beauty of what we do. Everyone gets to choose exactly what they want. And but I have asked Shanae to work with us for the rest of the month. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but Shanae absolutely loves doing this. Okay.
You know, that's great.
Yeah, and I'm excited that she's helping because we are because this is our business, and we're going to have to step it up if we want to have those successes. And I'm telling you, here's what I absolutely love about it. Every person on this call, if you make a commitment, you write those goals down, you work to achieve them, you will be on the leaderboard. You can be a superstar in Engage Global. You can be a superstar in Engage Global. So know that. So
Can I show one last thing before we go?
yes.
And this is the low tech big check, right? I need to drink water. Buy a container. Track your water. $10 at Target. I also found this. I like Tabitha Brown. So this is Tabitha Brown stuff. She my best friend.
He's not.
She's my best friend.
Who is Tabitha?
It's a crossbody water bag.
Oh, that's pretty.
$15. Again, it's not something you have to buy. I just want to show you how easy it is when you apply this stuff to any business.
You prepping yourself.
You know, I talked about writing it down, right? This is a weekly journal. It clips together, $10.
Never seen a
And
weekly
it's a
journal.
weekly business on the outside. On the inside, it has your weekly breakdown and it has your to-do list. All in one little small thing, $10. If weekly is not your thing, or you want a monthly, this is $10 as well. And I love it because guess what? It's not predated. But how it looks like on the month, you open it up, you have your month. But on her daily part, she gives you 7 weeks or 6 weeks in each month. It has your goal breakdown, your everything. It's right here. Guess what? It's small, compact, it's written. I'm a firm believer in writing it down and not doing it digitally because this is easy for me to flip back through, whether it's this format or this format. Even if I do a master log that tells me everything else, these are super easy. Other thing, I talked about rewarding yourself. She has these cute little gratitude reward cards, $5. And it's things like what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this with Khalil. I talked about this with my mom. When he does stuff, like they have cute stuff in here. Whatever. Take all these goals. It's 12 of them in here. They have envelopes. Put one goal in the envelope. Put it in the fishbowl. Fish one out every week when you achieve your goals. Treat yourself to whatever's in here.
That's nice.
$5. Again, low tech, big result though. Makes you feel good. You're looking to pull one out every week. You can even put them back in the fishbowl if you want to. But just a quick, fun, cute way to reward yourself for doing what you want to do. Also, the other thing with weight loss, and again, this is another $10 thing she had, is a little bento box. One of the biggest problems with weight loss is portion control. You know, I ate a salad, but it was a salad for 10 people.
Yeah.
It had enough dressing for 8 million.
Right.
The portion control aspect, she has these cute little bento boxes, $10. This one is 10. She has a $5 one. The
Open.
inside, it has the silverware in it. And it has, the only thing I wanted to show is it has the portion control, the top and the bottom.
Hey, those are actually, another thing that we talked about this weekend was how much money are you willing to invest in your business? So those would be nice little gifts if you have someone that hits a rank, or if you have, they're $5, $10 gifts, but they're very useful for what we're getting ready to do with the weight loss program.
Or you're going to be on the go all day. You're going to be prospecting and you want to eat healthy, or you don't want to eat out. Have your snacks
Right.
with you.
Just prepare
Right.
yourself.
And
Prepare.
have your water with you on the little crossbody. I got to drink my water. Set alarms in your phone to drink your water. Did you drink your water today? Have you had your hydro today? Just small things you can do to remind yourself, did I get my supplements in 2 times a day? Right. The way you practice or the way you conduct your business is how your team will see you to conduct your business, and that's the standard you are now creating.
Okay, Shanae Chavez, I think you have done an amazing job.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
We're going to, does anyone else have anything before we close out tonight?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go post this right now. If it is to be, it's up to me.
That's right. That's right. And so, and here's the other thing. I'm really trying to get all of us to use the WhatsApp chat, only because that way we don't forget people. We don't, it's all there. So if you're not part of the WhatsApp chat, please send me a text so I can add you to that group, please. It's just easier for me. It's easier for Catrice, Dr. When we want to get messaging out. If we improve our communication, everything else will get better as well. So
the affirmation cards, Mommy, can you show them? And she also had daily affirmation cards. That's what you guys see me put in the WhatsApp app. And again, those were, I think, $5, but it's a 10.
Stuff costs more. Shanae just tells me $5.
No, that's what it costs. Her stuff is very affordable.
Okay.
But those are what you see me pop in the WhatsApp. It's 75 in the 10.
Yeah.
What's your sister's name that you buying all this from, Shanae?
Tab.
What?
Tabitha Brown.
Tabitha Brown.
Brown.
Yeah. And
She's
it's
my best friend.
Shanae and Khalil have an argument about this because Shanae tells Khalil that's her best friend, and Khalil's like, you don't even know her.
No, her. Are delusional. Oh, he goes off, but I still like my best friend Tab. She's my best friend Tab because when I started my vegan journey, I saw a video from her, and she's how I did it. But
yeah, I heard her stuff. Yeah.
I can do hard things. I haven't had meat or dairy or anything in over 4 years.
Wow.
And if you could not do that, you can do anything. I can accomplish hard things. So the things I'm not accomplishing is because I am not applying myself.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll do another training. We're gonna keep working because Dr. Picola, what I was told this weekend is I'm not successful because of the company. I'm not successful because I'm not developing me.
Right.
I'm not successful because there's a whole nother thing, but I don't want to get into it because it'll take too long. Where you got to look at, if you're a CEO, you have to look at who your board of directors are. And then you have to say, is this person good for me or do I remove them?
Right.
And sometimes those people could be family members. Like the guy that was training, he said, I love my mother, but I can do my mother for about 10 minutes a day. Then I say, Mom, I got to go work. So I had to take her off the board. She can't be on my board, and you have to really think about those people that just take your energy, because you have to protect energy as you're out there working, as you're sharing with people. Sometimes we take on so many things from other people, right? You have to stop that. You got to he says, you have to stop. And I'm going to say this, and then Miss Omi is going to pray. He says, get ready, Miss Omi. Let me find it. Because it was like, wow, are you kidding me? It's
While
stuff
you
like,
looking for that, Miss Laverne Jones Rose just sent me. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing your message. I'm just getting home from church
okay,
because
well,
I really wanted her to have this training, but I was thinking we were going to do back office, so the Lord knows what we need.
so
So
here's what he said. Okay. First, he said leaders launch, right? So when we're getting ready to do this weight program, we're going to launch our businesses. We're not going to just go tell people about it. We're going to launch our businesses. We're going to make it a big deal because it is, right? So, here's what he says. You have to fire the people that help you remember your past failures. It's instant replay. You know, fire the people that help you remember your past failures. So, you know, when somebody says, girl, what are you doing now? It's and that and all of that. Don't do them. Don't do them. It's too many other people out there. It's too many other people out there. And we all have to speak what we want. Which you have to focus on. So it goes back to the I am statements, right? I am successful. I am ambassador. I am a freedom too. Whatever you want.
I am doing the work.
Out there in the universe. I am.
Doing the work.
Yeah. I am that I. Okay. So with that being said, thank you for being here. This was a great training.